Hey guys, and how's it going? This is, what are we on, part 4 of this free John Deere that a fellow subscriber donated to us locally to get back, I guess bring it back to life. It died on him in his yard and contacted me and said, would you want it for making videos? So we are 3 videos in. The first one we did some troubleshooting, got it running. Second video, it was running, but it was noisy, so we ended up going to adjust the valves and found the keepers fell off the valve stems. Had to pull the engine to go find where that lash cap went, and went down inside the engine. Had to fish it out with a magnet. When we were in there, we inspected the valves and found that it had 2 bent valves. So in the last video, we beat the valves with a hammer straight, lapped them in and put it back together, and seemed to run quite good. That's about where it left off, other than the only thing I did off camera was free up a couple of the dump valves for the automatic transmission so it would roll freely. I cleaned them up and freed them up so they roll, and now are back in the operation position. It's cold. It's probably been about 5 days or so since this last run. It's the last time I worked on it. Go see what we get. I'll start up. We are going to need ground, and then we'll start getting into it. Let's just go see how she does on. We want some choke. Runs good, don't it? Let's go turn the choke off. What a piece. There we go. Definitely sounds much better. If you go to put it in gear now. Right, so it's functional. I was going to go jump into putting all these skins back on and start putting the tins on, but we still have a charging light issue, and I think we could probably hook the plow setup on it up in the air. I don't think any of these taps have been used for a while for the hydraulic outputs. So before all that gets put on there, let's go set ourselves up. We'll bring it up in the air. We'll bring the plow over maybe on this table, and we'll work on it up here and see if we can get our hydraulics hooked up, and if so, if they'll function. All right, so I brought the plow over, and I was going to try hooking it up and having the plow in between while we're trying to function check and get the connections working. But this cylinder is already not bolted to one side. I tried orientating it where I thought it would fit, and each hose on each end kind of runs into something. So I don't know what the past history was, but it's just not set up to rock and roll. Let's go just take the last bolt out of it, and we'll work with one cylinder, and we'll bring that over to here, and we'll see if we can get these connections to work, because I'm sure these are needing a little bit of love. Don't see a nut on the bottom of it. Either it's just missing or it threads in. Well. See what we get underneath it with a pry bar when we're lifting up on it. I think it'll just go by itself. And that one had a fight. Yeah, it looks like it's just been used as a pin, huh? All right, now we can work with this cylinder in the way. All right, so before I left last week, I shot a bunch of oil in these. I got the collars to at least free up. These wouldn't even move back. kind of crusty. Generally, they are supposed to have a set of caps in them, kind of like what these ends have right here. Let's see what we're going to get, if anything. What to say, they're not even the right size. Yeah, let's go try this one. Ooh. That needs a little bit of love. I'm going to go take a brass wire wheel and clean up some of the mess that's on there before we contaminate any further into there. Yeah, it's just a soft brass wire wheel. It's real soft. Let's see how that. Good. All right, that's a little better. Let's see. Get number 2 to play. I think we're in. I say we fire it up. See if we can get that piston to do what we want it to do. We could probably test both circuits actually with that one. Let's go see. Yeah, set up on the other side and see if the other side works. This was the rustier of the two sides. Seeing that the collar's not coming back. I think we got it. And the pop. Those little rings, bearings on the outside are what lock it in. So you got to make sure that gets back, fire it up, and shoot the hose across the room. Come on. Just like a air hose. It's going. Might need a little plier love. Yeah, that doesn't even want to come back without the hose in there. Again, I had to kind of tap on them at first. A little more fondling. Get that rust that's puking out. I wonder if I can unthread them. Clean them up. They probably wouldn't mind a ride in the ultrasonic cleaner too, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's go try the second circuit. Make sure that one works. Back you up here. Round 2. That's a plus. I'm going to take a minute and clean up those connectors a little bit more. I'm going to take some compressed air, blow out the rust, and go some WD and kind of rinse them out a few more times, and then we'll start getting that plow over. See if we can hook up the hydraulic and make her do what she's supposed to do. So the other cylinder that is on there is all the way in the constricted, all the way in. We'll go with that. It's all the way closed up, which makes the bracket. That bracket should be sitting like this when we're trying to install it. Fight us quite a bit. We could pull the pin, get a little bit more out of it, but I think I'm just going to take the cylinder right off, give us a little bit more working room, and then later on I think we can configure the hoses a little bit better and line them up. I have a feeling there was an issue there. Kind of looks that way. I just took the top one out for now. I'm just going to make sure that these go back. They're what lock it in place. Yeah, you try it one-handed. Let's give her. Let's see. Probably put the brakes on that. When you would grab that other side would really be helpful. Doesn't that seem like it's going to be kind of low? I think that's got to go right there. You agree? Move that there. Now, has some weight. I gotta come up with another solution. The floor jack will help us. A little baby one. Probably would be easier just working on the ground, but a little higher. I think we're close. I think your side has to go in a little, right? Where is it? We want that a little further. Have to drop down. Let the jack down a little. That one sounded good. 2 for 2. That wasn't so bad. Let's go hook up some cylinders and see what happens. Yeah, but first, they are going to need a little bit of love too. That one's not so bad. That one is. Back to the wire wheel. Yeah, I'll give that one a hit anyway. We're here, right? A little bit of lube before you put them in. Wait, no. Don't want to be going in dry. It hurts something. So what do you think is going to be the top? What do you think is going to be the bottom? You think we just wing it and see what happens? It's a 50-50 shot, right? One. Nope. Trying not to see in front of you. That is going to need a pair of pliers. A little bit of influence. But I like checking them before we got stuck trying to deal with it. Come on out. Alright, we need that cylinder to go longer. And I would think we got it right. Work on number 2. See if we can get the angle working. Could probably actually get rid of the little forklift here. Let's see what we can do with that second one. I don't know about the routing of the front hose shouldn't be too bad. Although that seems like it's going to be way too short. No. That one will make it. With the orientation should be okay. The back one, what if we are to come around the bottom of this cylinder, maybe through here in S? It seems like it's an awfully long hose. I'm afraid it's going to pinch down here and you can't see it, but there's a frame. Let's go try running it. Something like that, maybe. I'm not sure if the direction is correct. We're gonna find out. Probably bolt it in first, huh? Yeah. So which one had the bent bolt in it? Was it? I think it was this one, right? I'm gonna see what I got. There is. I'm gonna go see if we can find another nut and bolt for this. Got a new one for the back. $35. And it's got a jam nut on it. Where is this? Is the new one. I'll throw a washer on it. I have no room to put a washer on that one. I won't be catching the threads, so let's go give. That one. And hopefully, I guess we could still swap those hoses around. Bought a boat once. Guy was having a hard time with it. It didn't steer very well. Boats have a steering cable on them. You run a cable from the steering box back to the boat, and it's like a push-pull cable. You had the cable on backwards because if you got to kind of think twice about the motor, what it does, as far as you spin the cable, you pull the cable, it turns the motor, but the boat goes the opposite direction. So you had the cable on the upside down part of the steering wheel. So every time you would go turn the wheel left, it went right. Just had to take it apart and put it back together. But yeah, that's why it steered kind of funny. There's bicycles I think they do that with too. You put like a double set of handlebars on it and it steers the bike the opposite direction. Makes it, you're so programmed to turn in one direction that it's hard to convince yourself to try to ride it the other way. All right, let's fire it up and go see. I'm going to back you up a little. Just a tad so the thing doesn't take you out. Let's go on the side. How about someplace like that? You good? Out of harm's way? Watch your feet. Seems like it clears everything out. I don't see any smashing of the hoses. This one can probably due to be a little shorter, but I don't see it being an issue. Is that smashing into the frame right there? That could be an issue. Let's go let that down a little bit. Hopefully that did not just take that out. Should be able to do it without running it. Yeah. What can we do about that? Can we limit its upward stroke? I don't know if it bent it or not. It looks still pretty square. We spin that around and put it on the bottom. Will that help us at all? I think if we put, nah, it's because that's going to be right on top of this one. If we I want to say that had a dent there before too. Maybe that's why it's got new hoses on it. Yeah. I think we'll let it be for now. I think everything kind of clears. I think if we start switching, what else can we do? We spin this one around so that it's over here. That would make that hose hang out here somewhere for its swing. I wonder if we could even just kind of maybe take down that nut a little bit with a whiz wheel. Maybe increase that dent a little. Maybe just drive that in. And on that note, thunderstorms coming. We want a nice pop. Up yourself. Let's go see what it does for you can make it float, but it's got down pressure because it's got a line on both sides of the cylinder. If only had a line on one side, it wouldn't have down pressure. But we should be able to lift the front of the tractor off the ground. It's good for when you're back dragging. That's pretty good. I'm sure if you screw with that coupler that's on there where that pin is, where this pin is, it may allow it to either dump or float. Actually, this is the pin. But when you hit something, it's already in the retracted position. So if you hit something, the blade, you're not even looking. And you pull this pin back, which it already is. If you hit something, the blade can dump. Or you put the pin in and it locks it. but float might have something to do with that. It might not. It might be on the controller too. That's why I run the tractor around. We'll see. I don't know if you can hear that thumping in the background. Mother Nature's getting a little mad. Makes it easy to change the front tires too. Yeah, so I decided to jump back to the back of the tractor, and we can start buttoning that part up so at least it's rideable on and off the lift as I'm working on stuff. I plan on trying to knock it out, but just in case, I want to go from that direction. Gas tank. I poured all the gas out of it. It looked pretty clean what left that was in there, but I was a little concerned about water because we did find water in the carb. And then I just kind of scrub brushed the outside of it and rinsed it. So when I shook it upside down and out of the gas cap, the first thing that fell out was this, and this is a filter and a weight, and I do believe this is one of the two circuits, whether it's the reserve or the on, I'm not sure. I figure one hose goes to the bottom and one goes probably, you know, an inch from the bottom or so. That's off of one of them, and the reserve is disconnected on this machine. It was just running off of one line. And, you ready? That fell out of it. It's that stupid new setup for the gas cans. Like, I just see somebody getting really pissed off trying to deal with this stupid thing because these suck. You gotta put them on there. It spring loads and collapses it, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Someone just ripped that stupid. Somebody had it with it. All right. I thought it was funny. Let's go pop off. I put a couple of gas lines on there just to keep water out. Let's go and see what we have as far as anything. I should be able to pop these out. Without damaging them. Because that'll set me back a little bit. Have these in stock. Want to try the other one? Some of you know, take the stem out first. Let's get a little bit of persuasion first. There we go. That one has nothing on it. Yeah, I think we're probably better off putting that in first and then putting that in. They look pretty decent. That's going to need a clean up. That one is completely clogged. That's the one that wasn't hooked up. Now we know why. It looks like I had a piece of fuel line or something on it too. So that would be the reserve that goes lower. Let's go struggle with that front one again. This could have nothing to do with it whatsoever. It might have just fell in there from something else, but I suspect that it does. Let's see if we can get rid of this one. She's pounding out there. Good day to hibernate in the garage. Come on. There you go. That one's got some kind of apparatus on it. Oop, that had a screen on it, which I just squished. And that's going to be the regular on, because it didn't go to the bottom, right? It's hard to say. What do you think? Which one do you think did what? Where's the other one? The other one went straight down though. Where's the filter? There it is. And the spring. What would the spring be doing? just protecting it from getting squished like I did. So I would say yeah, definitely run and reserve. So it looks like we just need a piece of fuel on to put this one back together. And this one. And rotor-rooter. This one. It works. I'm going to clean some of that varnish off. We're also going to look inside that tank. See what we got. Let me go get us some light. That actually looks pretty good. And it's a good thing about a plastic tank, you know. They have a tendency to crack, but you don't get, even with old crappy gas, they stand a good chance of staying. It all took it out on the metal components, which were just those. And hopefully the power stays on. Let's go get those cleaned up and reinstall. Probably gonna go run a rag around the inside of the tank there, try to suck up whatever last little bits are laying in there and blow it out with some air, you know, through the ports. I think it's time for its... Oh, great. I think that's a warning that a storm is coming. I think you already know. Just saying. Alright. I think she needs to have a little exam. He. Let's go see what the proctology report gives us. Actually pretty clean. I'm gonna lay it on its belly. Nothing like getting a clean bill of health before you get put back to work, right? I would say we're absolutely fine. Is it a bad sign if your cell phone is got thundering lightning in the background? I've never seen that before. All right. All right, let's see. Prepare some of this stuff. Let's go get the just soap and water. Yeah. We got to do rotor-rooter on 101 clogged, right? Actually, I need air too. Hold on. I got it. Pick up your feet. There we go. Let's see what we can blow through. I just heard it shoot something out. And this is the one. This one I think is 100% clogged. Yeah. Let's go mining. Oh yeah. It's a little clogged. Cayenne pepper in there. I might throw these in the ultrasonic thing for a little bit. Filter. I'll shut a load of test, huh? What else we got? Two pieces go together, and this one just picked up higher up. I'm going to go inspect these. I may go clean these a little further, and we'll come back with the fuel line on them. Give these guys a wipe down and a respray right now. See how they look. I'm trying to keep oils and stuff away from these. I don't want them to deteriorate. Like they're pretty good, but sometimes this stuff can be sensitive. You know, you think it'll be able to hold up the gas and other stuff. And sometimes that's bit me in the ass. I'm just going to try to play it safe with what I'm using here. Yeah, I'll run something down the center of it. Soak them again. And ultrasonic cleaner for those. Alright, the chances are I'm going to get that. I gotta hold that somehow. Get the fuel line on it. I'm not going to put any clamps on it. I don't think it's necessary. How close do I want to go? Let's start with that. And then it was like that, correct? No, that went down through the tank. Yeah. Yes, no? Yeah, the fat part went through the tank. Is that going to put me low enough? Let's go with right. It's going to put me too low. That one fits. Does that one fit over in that well? That's what it is. So there's another well. Look up on the top of you. There's another well, separate well, right here. It drops down. So that one will allow us. We'll call it right from that seam. I think that actually would be pretty good. Should be fine just like that. Oh. Yeah, that's going down through the tank. Blonde moment. There we go. Yeah, let's put it together backwards. Now that's the problem. We're not going to be able to clear that. So this has to go on first, and then the fuel line on. Well, I put them on there. I was going to do it the other way around, but it kind of stopped me from doing so. Let's see how they make out. I was afraid of. Yeah, it just fattens it out. That's no good. I gotta try to figure something out. Well, so much for going in dry. I put a light little coating of oil on it, and I moved the ring down to where I think on the fuel line where it's a little skinnier. And then if I can get that in, then I can push the rest of the setup in. Let's go give that a shot. It's just not going to do it. We cannot do that. What is our options? I don't think we're going to be able to shove that whole thing through there. Right? So like, we put it in and yes, that's the only way the grommet's going to go in. But what I thought is, we got the length of fuel line. What if we stick like a wire down through there? We feed the fuel line. See if we can bring it up from the bottom. That's going to be kind of tight going through there too. That's not having it. So what if we get a thinner line that can clear, and we put where we're ended up. Alright, where'd the filter go? You guys had it on? I sure hope it. There it is. Like, I hope I didn't walk away with it. Let's get it off that thick line. And what we can do is pull this through. Do our best to snip it and put the end on it. And I think if we can leave the line a little longer, it can actually lay on the bottom of the tank, kind of like a chainsaw setup, you know, a little two-stroke. Gotta move. A little persuasion. Let's go see. So we don't have to lift it all the way out. You can probably give it like, that's hitting the bottom. Let's give it a little more than that. Of that much. Got it. One. Straight one? Right? Yeah. This is the other one that had to put. Get that on there. Add it. You just stab it into your fingers. I got it. Where is it? That was easy. So number 2, tucked in. It has lost its filter rights. Let's go put a little. That's better. Now we got something to work with. Let's go plop that gas tank up there. The hydraulic fluid looks good. I'm not going to worry about that. These are the tail lights on the ground, and this was the seat safety. That's a little cobbled. So you see where things line up. I'm going to take a close look at those lines. I don't know if I have enough to run both of them. They're going to run up to the valve right here. Look at the rest of that. We'll see how we get the rest of the system set up. We could probably just plumb all that. Yeah, those few lines. One's a bit already replaced, but one of them's really cracked. This one's cruddy. See a problem there? Normally I would probably just snake them through, tie one to the other and pull them through. But we got the ignition switch to clean up and all. And I was thinking maybe we'll take the side tin off. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it'll give us access to the hoses and wiring, and might be able to get in there with a camera a little bit better. So let's do it. How's it going out of there easy? Hopefully that'll make the turn. Yep. That can go free. Choke up on it. These guys are on there. Those are a totally different size. There we go. One. So we still have two more up top, and two going in this way, I think. Let's make the ones in the front. Oh no, I already got those out. The two oddball size ones we got to get. We're in. So I'm gonna figure out who's going to what on the levers, and then run the appropriate one back to the tank. I'm just gonna blow out what's on there for now. Still change it, I just want to blow them out though. Figure out who's. That one went through. And that one is reserved. definitely a hole in that fuel line that was going off to the carburetor anyway. Good thing we're changing them all. I have a new fuel line, just a piece of metal connecting it to the old one. Let's see, hopefully it doesn't make too many sharp bends. I'm able to walk it through without having to, there we go. And that one. What's going on? There. Probably just eyeball where it needs to be, as far as you know where we pull it back to. So it's going to sit right about there. That'll be enough slack. We'll give her a hair more just for fudge play. Fudge play. We'll run it. This one's our reserve, correct. Got this one here. And I should have enough line to do the rest of it. Good. Do the same to the second one. I'm going to run the last piece going to the fuel pump. There's no grommet. I got two sizes. That's a definite no. Hopefully you can listen. Even that's kind of sloppy. Not the biggest one I got. The same size. I think it is. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's just not a great fit. I think we can still have that on the outside of the fuel line. That sucks. I wonder if we can take that lower hole. Jokes to yourself. First, will that fit through the line? It will. Maybe we can run it through this one. I feel a little more satisfied. Now that can go to one of those two. One of those is in and one of those is out. Here we got a new line going from the tank up and around to the valve, out of the valve to the fuel pump, from the fuel pump through a filter and through another grommet into the carburetor. Should be pretty well protected. I might have to fudge stuff around a little bit when I start putting the tins back on, but I think we're in correct locations. Used all my fuel on it too. Exactly 0.0 left. Put some gas in it, see if it works. Let's put a gallon of the good stuff in it. KM2 racing fuel. That ought to fire her up. The gas just lasts a real long time. But at $9 a gallon, we're not going to run it on this. We'll put about $6.50 in it. How's that? That should be enough for reserve to pick up anyway. Let's see what we get. All right, gas is in it. We should have enough in the carb for it to run and pull through with the fuel pump. Yeah, I should run on that for 30 seconds or so. And it should be on reserve. Should. Everything's hooked up right, it is, but we're going to find out. Don't put it past me to flip them around. Okay. Attack. There it goes. Alright. Nice. We can actually probably put the seat back on, put that back together. The pan, the seat. We can button up the ass end, we can. We're getting ready to put that pan back together. But one of these is not like the other. One definitely dives downhill more than the other one. Let's see if we can kind of stretch this guy back out a little before we put it back on. Just got to give it a little. Persuasion. Looks safe. Made you jump. Think we did anything? A little more. Over. Yeah, I want to go up on this one a little too, I think. We'll bring her down slowly. Not trying to quench it real fast, and I don't want to let it cool off real slow either. I'm not sure what it's going to do to the spring part of it. So we're going to go for somewhere in the middle of kind of cooling it off and hardening it a little bit. The boss is here. So the seat slides. Has a couple of slides on it. Get you under there. There you go. You can kind of see. Two knobs on the front. You crack them loose and you set the seat to where you want. And then the back two were just like shoulder bolts that didn't tighten down all the way. But they rotted and broke off. So they had shoulder bolts. You'd run them down and it would leave a little bit of play in them. So I just put bolts in it with jam nuts on it. So they won't get any looser than that. But they'll still be able to slide back and forth. And then the front just locks it down. The back had a bunch of just snapped off ones too. This is kind of iffy. There was a stud sticking out of the taillight plastic out of that. And I just kind of ground it flat. As it ground flat, I heated it up and I was able to push it out of the plastic. And then I just ran a self-tapper in it, but it's not very strong. This side I'm not too worried about. It's got one bolt still in it. The other side's got two. Worst case, I'm going to end up having probably to go right through the lens, and I'll just put a nut and bolt assembly real thin right through it. But for now, we're going to see how long before it vibrates off. We got to get this onto the back of the tractor. Sounds like fun. Stay out of harm's way, Lily. That's not staying out of harm's way. Look out. What do you got? We're going to just throw 2 bolts in the back of it for now, but when we go to put that other tin on the other side, I think we could just pop it up out of our way. Even with the seat on it, I think we'll be okay. That looks better. Alright, let's hop on it. And yes, I dressed up for the occasion. This is all the way back. That's pretty good, actually. I'm glad I heated both those springs up, too. I could have even gone a little bit more. It gets close to the gas cap, but it bottoms out right before it hits it. That's good. Happy with that. You happy with that, Lily? I am. That makes it look a little bit prettier. I think it's ready for a road test, or at least a garage floor test. I have the battery, and a straddler down there. Let's see how everything kind of. Let it. Watch out. There's that. Good. Back dragging. we have failure. I would say somebody did not have a good day. I'm afraid, hopefully it's not that fitting. I think it is. Yeah, that sucks. And that sucks. Coming too close to that frame. I thought I had it maxed out. Nope. I suck. Yeah, but the seat looks good. So I went to go do down pressure. I was going to back drag with it and drop the blade down. So that's the pressurized side of it that does that. So once I did that, it just was dumping all the fluid out. It'll probably still lift, but I'm going to leave it just as is. I got it on a roller right now. Got to come up with something, something different than that, that's for sure. I don't know if we can braze in this fitting back onto that cylinder. Probably not. One saving grace is the snowblower has another cylinder on it, which I believe is going to be the same one. Also, we might even have one. It might even have the one for lifting and lowering the mower deck. I think it's got a shorter stroke on it though, that we could possibly use. What do you think? Yes, you. Did you do that? Fine. Let's step in it. Well, I was hoping to steal the one off the snowblower, but it's a stubby. And that's not going to do it for us. Let's go look at the cylinder, see if we can do anything with that. Yes, I pretty much snapped that one right off. I'm looking at it and you can see threads sticking out. So what do you think our chances are? We go in there with an easy out. We break the easy out off in there. That's what I was afraid of. Can't really put heat on it either because it's full of oil and seals, you know. Oh yeah, all right. Who's your daddy? Well guys, I think I'm gonna go wind it down for this evening. Lily's really bothering me, she wants to go. But we got the gas tank done, fuel lines done, seat done, rear pan done. Plow on it and mostly working. We'll deal with that cylinder. We'll swap it around and come up with a different direction. I got to get a coupler for it tomorrow, and we can regroup on this. We'll get it. Just glad that I was afraid that that was welded on the end of the cylinder and it wasn't. So with that, guys, I want to thank all you for kind of hanging out and help me fix some old rusty junky tractors and all the other stuff that we work on. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Like it never happened. Wanna go for a ride? You wanna go for a ride? You wanna get pizza?